Positive Train. How is everyone doing? We are playing with all the things in the art room today. We're going to be making a journal. Sup, my friend? Hello, daughter. How are you? It's been a day. I'm giggling. Eliza, Liz Aldi. Oh my gosh. Thank you. If I screwed it up, I'm sorry. Welcome. Susan, hello and welcome. Hi, everybody. We're going to be making a journal today, and it's going to be like fast and furious. Um, I believe that we are over on the YouTube channel, so hopefully you can come back and watch it. Um, yeah, so that's a whole thing. Um, I started some of the ephemera on Friday. Thank you, Lynn. That makes me feel so much better. So I started some of the ephemera for this on Friday. I don't know how far we're going to get. Awesome. Thank you. But I'm going to do my best. I do want to show how to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch and go over the kits that I have available that are pinned below. It's Gifty Gypsy. Hello, darling. Thank you for the raid. Mucho, mucho, mucho love to you, my friend. Thank you for your demo was amazing as always. Thank you. And thank you all for riding the train today. Hello, lovely. Thank you all for being here, for supporting artists. I am just gonna mod a couple of people because, I do all the modding and I can't mod myself. So somebody's gonna keep me under control yet, right? I went ahead and pre-did the cover to the journal and I pre-folded pages. So if we start to run out of time, we can grab this and go. So I did plan for that. I do want to go through the kit that I have pinned below. It is a whole pound, whole pound of ephemera, papers, all the thing. Yeah, purple is my thing. Butterflies are my thing. And here we are. You're going to get 2 file folders. You're going to get all of these papers. Obviously, you're going to have grid paper. This is some old school computer paper. You have sketch paper. You have different stationery pages. You have a desk mat. There is resume paper. There's linen paper. There's cardstock. There's some sticker pages, some tissue paper, book pages, a plethora of envelopes for you to choose from. There's some greeting cards like Alice Gifty Gypsy was just demoing. There's CD pockets. There are some little coin envelopes, heavy duty canvas for your cover, various laces and trims. I also am including a stencil for you. I've cut it down to size, and this is going to be the kit. So you're really going to have everything you need to create a true junk journal. There's not a single pretty printable in there. You are going to need to supply some ink, some stamps, and a stencil if you have it. Also, you're going to have to grab a needle and thread. And what I want to do today is show you how you can grab papers, envelopes, everyday things in your house and actually create yourself a journal. I do have a couple of samples. Let me get this out of the way and not spill it everywhere. I do have a couple of samples of how we've done this in the past. This is one Alice was talking about napkins. We covered a file folder with a napkin to decorate and just put in pages. we sewed these in, and this is a journal that you can create in, you can decorate, you can do whatever to create your own. Chatty Wampus, hi love, how are you, beautiful? I haven't seen you in a minute. But I want you to understand that the printables are beautiful. I love them, but sometimes they can get pricey. And if you just want to learn, grab some junk mail, grab some old art, grab your kids' art, some lined paper, whatever you have, old envelopes. That's really all you need, and some string and a needle to create a journal. Um, with things like this, you can do it with scrapbooking paper. There's gift bags. The possibilities are endless once you learn how to do this pamphlet stitch. Jackie, hi, honey. Um, you can put whatever you want in your journals, okay? It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be there's just so many different ways, and I want to show you that with something as simple as a file folder, you can create a journal. I'm going to take the camera up a bit. I am going to grab my handy dandy paper cutter, and I'm going to show you how I cut down the file folder. Oh, on a side note, every month I create a limited edition art card for the train, and this month I decided to go with some bright colors. This is going to be the giveaway before we raid into Lainey, Creations by Lainey. So this will be our giveaway, and I will also have one as a giveaway for my closing show tonight. The remainder of them are listed in the bin if you don't want to take the chance of winning it. You can purchase it because they are limited edition, and once they're gone, they're gone. So just want to point that out. Starting with just a regular, this is one of the heavy duty manila file folders. The first thing I want to do here is I'm going to bend two of these. I just want enough room for two signatures. If you want enough room for three signatures, you want to bend all three. So I'm going to just make this bend in the file folder, maybe, if it wants to cooperate with me, because they never cooperate when you're on camera. We had this conversation, right? And my cover itself is going to be 9x6. The thing with having a 9x6 cover is that you can fold 8.5 by 11 pages in half and perfect pages. You don't have to cut anything down. So that is one of the benefits of doing a 9x6 journal. You do whatever you're comfortable with. Now this, I want these edges to line up fairly well. So I'm going to fold this up. You can see how I have it folded. And I'm going to take it to the 6-inch mark where it's up. And I'm going to hold this down. And I'm just going to cut it at 6 inches. Okay. So the other direction, I want to cut at 9 inches. And we have our cover at 6x9. Done and done. I should have done 9.5, but I wasn't paying attention to my own directions. And here we are. So we're good. The next thing I want to do is take my piece of fabric and come here. I have left all the strings on the fabric so you can use them to decorate however you want. I'm just going to pull some of them out of my way. You can use these for your tags, for decorating, all the things. You want to cut this piece of fabric down to 9.5 by like 14. 13, 14. We'll play with it. So I'm gonna go to 9.5 on here, and you watch. It's not gonna want to rip because I'm live. I'm just giving it a little snip, and there's my 9.5. Okay. I'm going to snip the other direction I'm going to actually do like 13.5. And I'm going to snip the other direction. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. So I like the grungy edges. I like this. If you don't, you can grab a pair of scissors and you can make nice clean cuts. For me, anything that is a natural fiber, it will rip if you snip it. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to rip it. So I have this piece left over that I can use for tags. I can use to embellish. I can cut little pieces off and make tabs in my journal. There is so many things that you can do with this extra, so hold on to it. We're going to rip the other direction. Get rid of our strings. Maybe get rid of our strings. Lord, there's a lot of strings going on, friends. And this is going to be our journal cover. So if you look at what we just did, you lay your file folder that you just cut down, you're going to have a bit of a fabric edge, and that's okay. Because when you close it, you're going to have this cover. Do we want a plain white cover? No. No, we don't. Somebody might. You can decorate it however you want. I will say with these, I'm going to show you, I showed you in the beginning my other one, but I just want to show you how easy this is. If you use permanent inks, the strings are awesome. Look, this is my pile up here to decorate. Coffee dyed cheesecloth, strings, and extra fabric. It's a whole thing. The archival inks are permanent. They are just fine for doing this project. You can also use StazOn ink. You can use fabric inks. Whatever it is that you want to use, I suggest grabbing just 2 or 3 stamps and rolling with that throughout your project. And Jackie, do it. The thing with it is if you stick to just 2 or 3 stamps and 1 or 2 stencils, it's going to make your whole journal look and feel more cohesive. Okay. Um, so we're going to start with the big one first. Yeah, we'll start with the big one and work our way down. I'm just grabbing and choose a couple of colors. You can do, oh, do I have what other permanent inks do I have up here? Crapola. I don't have that many. Oh, look, I do. I have purple. Isn't life good? So we have this. We'll roll with those for the day. I was going to do something different, but here we are. Acrylic block for the stamps. You don't have to have an acrylic block for your stamps, especially when you're on fabric. You can just push down with your fingers. Whatever works for you. I prefer the grungier. So in my world, the grungier, the better. And yeah. So I'm going to start out with the green. I know it's crazy, but we're going to start out with the green. And I'm just going to, yeah, they look awesome together. They're just going to be random images. And I hold it down for about 3 seconds and just let it kind of soak into the fabric. It is not going to be 100% clear. I just want to give this a little bit of pattern so it's not so boring. Now, if you really want to pay attention to it, you can look at the fact that when folded in half, this is going to be your cover. you guys know I do the grunge and I just kind of roll with it. Um, and there's no way that I'm going to get a ton of this done. And this is why we've prepared another one so I can show you um, what I did. But I do want to show you how I did the cover. So, I'm kind of just stamping off over here. So it's just cohesive through this. Now, here's a fun thing you can do. This little strip that we pulled off, I can just throw this ink. I'm using it to technically clean my stamp, but I'm also getting some texture on this. So if I want to use this as a bookmark later, if I want it to match my project later, it kind of has that going on. So that's a thing. We all know that I love my music notes and I love my random script. So we are going to take some random 9x6, love. And the fabric is 9x13. Or, yeah, I cut the fabric 9x13. 9.5x13, something like that. Why is my stamp stuck? Sweet baby Jesus. Don't do this to me today. Okay, we need something. We'll use music notes because my thingy is stuck. Do you guys ever have this happen? This is a Tam teaching moment. So it's stuck, and if I keep ripping, it's going to rip my stamp. So what you can do is run this under warm soapy water, and it will make this release from the plastic. Oh, it's just a little corner. But if you ever have this where the whole thing, have I ever tried to ink the fringe? Absolutely all the time. I am a walking, talking hot mess, Jackie. So another thing you can do if you don't want to do pristine stamps, what I like to do is just ink my stamp and just randomly throw some words down. It's not perfect. It's just kind of all over the place, but it just gives a background. Red Rock, hello, beautiful. Red Rock's going to be on here later tonight. Everybody that is on the train today has a show coming up. Put some emojis in the chat so everybody can follow you. One of the reasons that I started this train was to build community within the handmade community, because we were all back in guys, we're on our third year with this train. Does that even seem possible? We were all just kind of all over the place trying to find our way. And I just wanted to do something to bring everybody together, support everybody. And, sometimes we just kind of get lost in our own thing and we forget that everybody's out there trying to do this thing called life. And sometimes you just need to be told that you've got a friend out there rooting for you. And that was one of the things with this train, is to try and bring everybody together and show up for each other. Showing up for each other does not necessarily mean that you have to spend a ton of money. What it means is that we're here for each other at all times. Follow each other, bookmark each other's shows, talk about each other, share each other's creations. You guys have seen some amazing stuff today. Yay. Good appointments. And what you put out there comes back to you. Bottom line. Everything that you put out in the universe will come back to you tenfold. I fully believe that. And Yeah, you guys, that kit is fire. You have everything you need, but pretty much a needle thread, some stamps and ink to make a journal. Um, I wanted to make it to where you didn't have to buy a ton of stuff. I wanted to make it to where even somebody that's just starting out has a way to create. Now, I'm going to do this briefly and then we're going to go to the other thing because we have about 10 minutes. And I do want to show where'd that piece of fabric go that I was stamping stuff off on? See? Always a mess. It's around here somewhere. We'll deal with that later. Okay, so here's my little trick, and I'm going to show you the one that we're going to be binding in. Kind of the same concept, different stamps, but same fabric. How may you ask? Does it look like that? All of my friends know. How did it go from this pristine white to this grunge? Yes, ma'am. It's coffee. Love you guys. So this is something that I did. I have a light one and I have a dark one. Okay. It's instant coffee I've mixed up in a spray bottle. It's magic. All things I do are magic, babe. Hi, Jenny. And really all I did is I just spritzed the coffee. Seriously, spritz the coffee. I'm not going to have time to finish this. Oh, gracious me. Oh, my. I really wanted to show you how I use the PVA glue to glue this on. But there we go. And it smells nice. Would you rather see me? I'm going to take a question here. Thank you. Would you rather see how I glue this onto the file folder, or would you rather learn a 3-hole pamphlet stitch? Because I got time for one or the other, not both. Glue. Okay. I kind of figured. So this is wet, but here's the thing with it being wet. That's not exactly a bad thing, right? And the reason it's not a bad thing is because it's going to make your glue adhere better. I'm going to set this aside for just 1 second and I am going to grab my PVA glue. Let me show you. Lynn. Child, I know where you live. When I'm doing bookbinding and when I do, now here's the funny part. You could use a glue stick to put something down that is porous, but then you need to seal it with a matte medium. I'm just going to hold it here so you can screenshot. PVA glue is a permanent PVA adhesive. It dries clear, it remains flexible, and it's buffered for added protection. This stuff is what I use for all my bookbinding. Here, this particular bottle I bought August of 2020. It is still good. I'm still using it. There's about this much left. So just for future reference, somebody was doing a demo the other night and they were saying that they could not figure out how, yeah, we're not going to play with this today. That's just going to take too long and we don't have time. Somebody tell me when 2 minutes is up because I got to start the giveaway. We're going to dump. We're dumping. You want to use a generous amount of this, but here's what happens is it becomes tacky. And get an old paintbrush that you have that you use solely for your adhesives and your, don't want that bump in there. Your matte mediums. Don't use your good paintbrushes for this, you guys. It's just not a good, it's not a good fit. I'm making sure that I get a lot of glue on that spine. And I'm spreading it out. With this glue, it looks like it's just going to soak through my fabric and it's going to be a nightmare. I'm putting an even layer everywhere, okay? The thing with the PVA glue is you can allow it to get a little tacky and it's still going to adhere, right? You kind of want to work quickly, but even with all that glue, I think I need more. We'll see. I want to get all the edges. And I'm just pulling this over, making sure that everything is covered. Okay. Yep, I'm going to need more. Thanks, Alice. I see you. Give me 1 second. I will do that. Don't let me forget it now that you've reminded me. I'm going to the edges. I'm letting it get a little tacky before I put my fabric down. Now remember, my fabric is wet, okay? Keep in mind, my fabric is wet from that coffee. Remember, we have wet fabric. We're going to pick this up. Would be helpful if I had a towel near me. We're going to wipe up the excess glue so I don't get it on the front of my fabric. I'm going to lay my fabric down. It's wet, okay? This is what keeps it from going through. I'm just centering it on here as best as I can. That's crooked. I'm going to push it down. That is not even at all in the least, but I'm going to take a bone folder, a credit card, a squeegee. I have 1,000 things on my desk to do this with, and I can't find one of them. And I'm just using it to push this down, okay? I just want a good adhesion. I can trim around that fabric later once this dries. But everything is sticking down. And I'm going to dry this flat overnight before I do anything else with it, okay? Crap bowlers, we got 3 minutes. So this is the exact process that I used for this one. I did not use a permanent ink. I used a Tim Holtz ink, and we just won't go into that right now. My permanent inks are perfect, and there you have it. So, yes, Jenny, Elmer's Glue All. Right, you don't want to use the school glue because it's watered down. So, yeah, thanks, Ames. Just answer the questions, babe. I'm saying it out loud for those that are on YouTube and not seeing chat. Elmer's Glue All will work if you do not have PVA glue. Elmer's school glue will not, because the school glues are very watered down. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. Correct. Yes. Jumped in the giveaway. It is for a limited edition artist trading card. I will give away another one of these in the closing show tonight. And they are also in the bin available to purchase. Pinned below are the journal kits if you want all of these things. I will continue working on this, and I will continue not this week because Rob and I are going on vacation, but next Friday, I will work on this again every Friday night. And Kathy, thanks for coming, and thank you for that. I love helping people learn. Last Friday night, we made some ephemera to go in here to decorate this, and it's just going to be an ongoing project until we finish this journal. So if you would like one of the kits to play along, it is pinned down below. If you would like to just see the replay of this, it is on my YouTube channel. That is Tam's Creative Journey, all one word, no spaces. Thank you very much for your purchases. Thank you for being here. Thanks for just writing the Artisan Creative Train. You guys have made this possible over the last 2 years, and I hope for another 2 years of amazingness. We are going to go see Creations by Lainey. Much love to each and every one of you. Oh, pull the Gibby. Where did the Gibby go? It'll pull it. Crap. I'll tell you guys who won when we get there.